Good morning, friends. In today's lecture, we will discuss a topic from the second semester mathematics of Gujarat Technological University, vector calculus and linear algebra. The today's topic is diagonalization of matrices. In the last lecture, we have discussed the eigenvalue problems and seen that how to find eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a given square matrix. So that we know very well. And this is one of the application of diagonalization. Diagonalization is one of the application of eigenvalue problems. So let us see what is this diagonalization problem and how to carry out this diagonalization. So today's objective of this lecture is, after completion of this session, we will be able to identify whether a matrix is diagonalizable or not. If so, then how to diagonalize the matrix via similarity transformation. And then as a part of application, we will compute the higher powers of matrices using diagonalization process. So first is, let us discuss similarity transformations. We are given throughout the lectures, our matrices are square matrices. So let us two matrices A and B of order n are said to be similar if there exists a non-singular, that is invertible matrix P such that B is equal to P inverse AP. That is, if for matrix A there exists an invertible matrix P such that the matrix P inverse AP is called the similar matrix to A, and the product P inverse AP for every invertible matrix P is called similarity transformations. So using similarity transformations, one can get the similar matrices to A. And why these similar matrices are important? Because many a times we can get the easier form of matrix which is similar to the matrix A, and in today's lecture we want such kind of diagonal matrix which is similar to the matrix A. And also similarity transformation says the eigenvalues. So let us see here, A and B are two matrices. Then by definition there exists an invertible matrix P such that P inverse AP is equal to B. That is, here A and B are similar matrices via invertible matrix P. Then suppose lambda is an eigenvalue of A with an eigenvector x, then by definition we have Ax is equal to lambda x. Here x is non-zero vector because it is an eigenvector. So by multiplying both sides, because the matrix P is invertible, so we have the inverse matrix P. So multiplying both sides the inverse matrix of P, we have P inverse Ax is equal to P inverse lambda x, and on the right hand side the expression P inverse lambda x, well, lambda is some constant, so that we can carry it out, so that we have on the left hand side only lambda P inverse x, and on the right hand side we will replace the vector x by Ix, where identity matrix, because multiplication with identity matrix is same as the matrix, so that x is identity matrix into x, and identity, we replace identity matrix by P into P inverse x, so that our left hand side will become P inverse AP times P inverse x, using the associative property of matrices. So that we have final this, and we know that this P inverse AP expression is B, so that we have B times P inverse x is equal to lambda times P inverse x. Let us put this vector P inverse x is equal to y, so that we have By is equal to lambda y. Therefore by definition of eigenvalues, this lambda is also an eigenvalue of the matrix B with corresponding eigenvector y. So we can see that if A and B are similar matrices, in that case the eigenvalues are same, and the eigenvectors need not be same, but they can be obtained from each other by the similarity transformations, that is the matrix P, and this matrix P we would call the model matrix. So the moral is, similarity preserves the eigenvalues, that is similar matrices, as we have seen, similar matrices have the same characteristic polynomial, so that they have the same eigenvalues with the same multiplicity. that means they have the same eigenvalues with the same algebraic multiplicity. But converse of this statement need not be true, because we may have two matrices A and B, they have the same eigenvalues with the same multiplicity, but they may not be equal matrices, or they may not be similar matrices. That may also be the case. Then similar matrices need not have the same eigenvectors, as we have seen, but they can be obtained from each other. That is, if the eigenvectors of one matrix are known, then the eigenvectors of the similar matrices can be easily obtained. Now let us come to the today's main topic, that is the diagonalization of the matrix. So in this section we would like to discuss the diagonalization problem, that is what is the diagonalization process of matrix, how to diagonalize the matrix, and one more question one can raise is that do all the matrices are all the matrices are diagonalizable? Such kind of questions we will see here. So let us start with the problem. What is diagonalization problem? So given an n by n matrix A, does there exist an invertible matrix P such that P inverse AP is diagonal matrix? That is the diagonalization problem. That is, we want the diagonal matrix which is similar to the given matrix A. If so, then we call A is diagonalizable matrix, and the matrix P diagonalizes the matrix A. So the definition we can define like this, that is, a square matrix A is said to be diagonalizable if it is similar to a diagonal matrix. In other words, if A is said to be diagonalizable if there exists a diagonal matrix D and an invertible matrix P such that P inverse AP is equal to D. In this case we call P diagonalize A, and many times we call this matrix P as a model matrix for A, because the matrix P which will diagonalize the matrix A. So from here we can again say that all the square matrices are diagonalizable. So the answer is in general no. And so what are the matrices which are diagonalizable? So for that, let us recall few theorems or few results from the previous theory, that is eigenvectors, and how to obtain this model matrix P, that is an invertible matrix P, so that A can be diagonalized. So let us see here the first result. Let us recall that eigenvectors corresponding to distinct eigenvalues are linearly independent, and the second result says that a square matrix whose columns are linearly independent, then the matrix is invertible. So here, if we have the matrix whose columns are linearly independent, then we have the invertible matrix, so that we can diagonalize the matrix A. And the first result says that eigenvectors corresponding to distinct eigenvalues are linearly independent. So if given a matrix, if we find out the eigenvalues and corresponding eigenvectors, if our eigenvectors are linearly independent, then we can put them in the columns of the matrix, that is, we form a matrix P using the eigenvectors, and that matrix can diagonalize the matrix A. That is, that matrix P can play a role of model matrix. So let us see how do we do the process. So diagonalization of a matrix, the first result says that, as we have seen, that if we have the total n linearly independent eigenvectors of the matrix, then that matrix can be diagonalizable. So first result says that this is the crucial result for diagonalizable, that is, if a matrix is diagonalizable if and only if the matrix A has the set of n linearly independent eigenvectors. This is very important result for the diagonalization process. Let us recall again. An n by n matrix A is diagonalizable if and only if A possesses a set of n linearly independent eigenvectors. That means for the diagonalization, the matrix should have the enough eigenvectors. So when do the matrix has total n linearly independent eigenvectors? So as we know that the eigenvectors corresponding to distinct eigenvalues are linearly independent. So if a matrix has all the eigenvalues are distinct, in that case it has total n linearly independent eigenvectors, and hence the matrix is diagonalizable. So the result says that a matrix A with distinct eigenvalues is diagonalizable. So what about the matrix which has repeated eigenvalues? So in the case when the matrix has repeated eigenvalues, but if the algebraic multiplicity is same as the geometric multiplicity for each of the eigenvalues, in that case we can see that it has full set of linearly independent eigenvectors, that is it has total n linearly independent eigenvectors, so that the matrix is diagonalizable. So this is the second result, says that the matrix A is diagonalizable if and only if the algebraic multiplicity of each eigenvalue is same as the geometric multiplicity. If so, then the matrix is diagonalizable. So let us discuss about, but one thing is sure, that the matrix with repeated eigenvalues might not be diagonalizable, because there may be the case, as we have seen the matrix has total n linearly independent eigenvectors, then we are through, the matrix A can be diagonalizable. But in the case when the matrix has fewer than, that is less than n linearly independent eigenvectors, in that case we cannot diagonalize the matrix via similarity transformations. So here we have three cases, that is given a matrix, if all the eigenvalues of the given matrix are linearly independent, all the eigenvalues of the matrix are distinct, in that case we have total n linearly independent eigenvectors, and hence the matrix is diagonalizable. In the case of repeated eigenvalues, if the algebraic multiplicity and the geometric multiplicity of each of the eigenvalues is same, in that case we get total n linearly independent eigenvectors, and so the matrix is diagonalizable. But whenever we have the less than n linearly independent eigenvectors in total, in that case matrix is not diagonalizable. So the matrix is diagonalizable or not, that can be decided only after finding the eigenvectors of the given matrix. So from the preceding theorems we can give the fine procedure for diagonalizing the given matrix. Whatever the square matrix A is given, first of all we will find out the eigenvalues and linearly independent eigenvectors. If we have total n linearly independent eigenvectors, then the matrix is diagonalizable, otherwise it is not. Suppose the matrix has n linearly independent eigenvectors, say v1, v2 up to vn. Then in the second step we form a matrix P which is desired. So we form an invertible matrix P. Why this P is invertible? Because we form this matrix by whose columns are the linearly independent eigenvectors, and if the columns of any matrix are linearly independent, and in that case the matrix is invertible. So here we get the invertible matrix P whose columns are the eigenvectors of the matrix. After forming this matrix P, we find out the product P inverse AP, and this product P inverse AP will be a diagonal matrix. We denote it by D, and in this diagonal matrix the diagonal entries must be the eigenvalues of the matrix. So let us revise the process. What we will do here, suppose the matrix has total n linearly independent eigenvectors, say v1, v2 up to vn, where vi is an eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda I. Then we form a matrix P whose columns are the linearly independent eigenvectors, so that the matrix P is n by n invertible matrix, so that P inverse exists, and the product P inverse AP will be a diagonal matrix whose diagonal entries are nothing but the eigenvalues of the given matrix. So here from this procedure you can say the model matrix P is also not unique, and the resultant matrix D is also not unique. Why? Because if you shuffle the columns, that is shuffle the columns of the matrix, then we get the different model matrix, and accordingly we will get the different diagonal matrix. But the one thing is sure, that in the diagonal matrix D, the columns, the diagonal entries are always the eigenvalues in the same order as in the linearly independent eigenvectors are arranged in the matrix P. So this is the diagonalization procedure. Using this procedure, one can easily compute the similar diagonal matrix to the given matrix E. So and here I forgot to mention one thing. The notation D is equal to DIAG is lambda 1 comma lambda 2 up to lambda n denotes the diagonal matrix whose diagonal entries are lambda 1, lambda 2 up to lambda n, like this. So it is a diagonal matrix whose diagonal entries are lambda 1, lambda 2 up to lambda n. We shorten the notation to save the space here. So let us see the example. In this example, we want to find out the model matrix P which diagonalizes the matrix A, and also we want to verify that the similarity transformation gives the diagonal matrix, that is P inverse AP will be a diagonal matrix. So here matrix is 2 by 2 matrix whose entries are row wise 4, 1 and 2, 3. So first of all, for this matrix we will find out the characteristic polynomial, because we want to find out the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So for this matrix 4, 1, 2, 3, for the characteristic polynomial is given by determinant of A minus lambda I, and this determinant is the diagonal is subtracted by lambda, so that from the matrix A and its determinant, so it is 4 minus lambda, 1, 2, 3 minus lambda. After expanding this determinant, we have the polynomial in lambda of degree 2, that is lambda squared minus 7 lambda plus 10, whose factors are lambda minus 2 and lambda minus 5, and we know that the eigenvalues are roots of this characteristic polynomial. Therefore the eigenvalues are 2 and 5. Now here we have total 2 eigenvalues and both are distinct, therefore we would get exactly 2 linearly independent eigenvectors, that is for sure. Therefore this matrix can be